Welcome back to WowNatchez, and today we're here with Joanne Roper. Joanne, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Natchez?
Well, as I start to talk, you'll be able to tell that I have an accent, different from here. I came from New Zealand 26 years ago, via Oregon at 17, and been down here 9 years ago. The reason why I came down to Natchez, we had family here, we'd visit every Thanksgiving, and I knew that one day we'd probably come here, quaint town, kind of interesting, and anyway, long story short, 9 years ago we moved down here, and it's been wonderful.
That's great. What is your get up and go every day? What gets you up every day?
Well, I've been called the blonde pit bull, and that tends to say what I am really like. I like to get up and go, do things, but really my motivation for having to get up and go is that I have a very real experience of faith in God and relationship with Him, and so that really is the power behind everything I do in my life. So everything I do, I'm busy with 4 businesses, but it's about people. And when you've had your heart and life change dramatically for the good, then you want to give that away to others. And so that's really a lot of what my motivation is.
Right, giving it back.
That's right. Everything else is just an assignment.
That's right.
And it's subject to change.
Right. Well, what is it that you like about Natchez?
There's no place like this place. I have travelled. I know you've travelled as well. Been overseas, come from overseas, and coming down here was like coming to a third world country in some ways. From Oregon, where everybody was hugging trees but not talking to each other. Down here, no one cares a hoot much about the trees, but everyone talks to everyone. And it is such a friendly town. And then you've got the history. And then being on the Mississippi River, even in New Zealand, we learned how to spell Mississippi.
Oh, I bet, yes. Well, all right, who most influenced you growing up?
Well, I had, my dad was in the military, so we had a very regimented, disciplined kind of childhood. I was the oldest of 4. My brother didn't come for quite some time afterwards, so I was kind of the boy. So I learned to have to do a lot of chores and be up on the roof helping my dad put a chimney flue down through the roof, that kind of thing. So learned good work ethic, which has helped me tremendously. And then of course at 18 I was in music college and had an experience with the Lord in the music room, which changed my life forever back in 1980. And so that really, I was still, as it were, a teenager, but that really changed and set me on a course where integrity and truthfulness and heart issues are paramount. And I've changed. I was someone who was beaten down, to know myself, couldn't talk to people. I mean, you never guess that now.
No.
So something has majorly transformed in my life through the years, and so I would say that's probably the 2 factors that have really changed my life and ordered me to go where I've gone.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, if you could tell the teens, the youth of today, teenagers, one good bit of advice, what would that be?
Absolutely. I was thinking about that. I think the biggest thing with young people, especially today, of all times, is identity. They don't know who they are. Many of them have not been grounded with any kind of basic discipline, responsibility, accountability, learning how, it's wonderful to be able to actually save up and buy something yourself, the pride of ownership because you put the effort into it. I think we've robbed our young people today from not having any kind of boundaries. That is not freedom. They do not know what it feels like to go cut some grass and do a good job many times because they've just not been trained. Parents aren't even around to follow up. I used to make my boys, they have a list of duties and I would go and make sure they did it, and if it wasn't done right they'd have to go back and do it again. And they learn that doing it again is no fun. So I think that is part of it, but I think with young people, they are important. You are important. And you do have a destiny, and you are unique. Don't try and be like somebody else. You're unique, Be yourself. Be all that you can be, because you do have a divine purpose. You're not here by accident. You're not alive today by accident. Everything has a purpose, and I think that is really important, because when you have value, you're not going to trash your life. You're not going to put stuff into your body that's going to trash it and affect it. You're not going to go with the majority just because everyone's doing it. You're going to stand for what you believe. And I think for young people, that's the most important thing. Get around people who you celebrate, who you respect. You know, some of those grandparents have had great influences on their grandkids, and allow those kinds of mentors to champion your life,
Right.
and become all that you can be.
Well, that's excellent advice. If there was one word to describe you best, what do you think that would be?
I think I mentioned it earlier, tenacious, don't give up, endurance, perseverance. You know, we all want to be overcomers, but nobody wants to overcome anything.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to be successful, but we're not willing to face failure. We all want to win, but we're not willing to fight. And I think that's really what I am, is I don't give up. You know, there's sometimes you need to let things go, but I think that really is the tenaciousness of my character.
That's perfect. All right, here's the last question.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a tourist coming to Natchez, what are the things that you would want to experience since you've been here?
Mm-hmm. I think that's one of the unique things about Natchez, is its location. I mean, we have tremendous views of the Mississippi River. We've got great food, great restaurants, a variety. I mean, from Mediterranean to Cajun to Mexican, as well as the southern cooking. And so that, I think, is really part of the experience, and the music. You know, we're part of the music triangle here. And I think that's something that we still need to see developed. But people come here, they fall in love with Natchez. They don't even know that we're here sometimes. It's a midway point, and then they want to stay longer because they see there's so much, and they've got history, antebellum homes. And I think it's just a very unique place. So
It is. It really is. Well, thank you so much. It's been a blast today being with Joanne. And
Thank you.
We want you to remember to hit like and subscribe to WowNatchez.
absolutely.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this episode of WowNatchez. Today we're going to be talking with Joanne Roper about her amazing garden. So Joanne, how did you get started with all your gardening, and how many years ago was it?
Well, I started gardening when I was about 7 years old, and I've always loved gardening. My dad had a vegetable garden, used to mow lawns. I mean, it's just in my blood, I guess. So yeah, I've always loved gardening. So down here in the south, the gardening is just amazing, because you know, you put a little bit of effort in and everything grows pretty much. So it's really a gardener's paradise. And the soil here is a loam-sill, so it grows things very well.
Loam-sill.
Loam-sill.
Good. Let's take a walk and look at some of this loam-sill and these wonderful things that you've been able to grow.
Loam-sill.
Tell me about your banana trees.
Well, the banana palms. I don't think they're called trees,
Okay.
but these grow up every year. I cut them down in January because we do get the odd frost, and this is just spring and summer's growth. So by the end of the summer into fall, they'll be as tall as the house. And then of course, you know, you've got bananas on there, and the flowers, and the hummingbirds like the flowers, and it provides shade for the house. And only thing is, like a lot of things here, if you plant them, they're going to take over. So put them where it doesn't matter.
Now, which side are we on? The south side of your home?
We're on the sun comes up
So east
in the
side.
east side, yeah.
The entire side is full of these banana palms.
Yes, indeed. Yep,
Wonderful.
they are. They're beautiful.
Well, let's take a look at some
Okay.
other things. All right, Joanne, we're in a new part of your garden. This looks like an amazing patch you've got here of a variety of things. So tell us a little bit about what you've got going on here.
Yeah, it is a patch. Well, I've taken some of the banana palms from where we just were and put them here, so they're growing really well. And I have some elephant ear, which is an amazing plant. Anywhere else, you know, that's an indoor house plant, but here we grow it outside, dies down in the winter but pops back up. We've got the ferns. I usually have irises in here that flower, yellow irises in the springtime. So it's a garden of colour. We've got the pecan tree, so it's filtered light as well. So I have iron plant, I have ornamental ginger growing there. You know, they're all tubers. So this is what I love, is you can get the spade, cut into that tuber, break it up, give it away, move it around the garden.
Wow.
It's that power of multiplication.
Have you found any of your gardening process, any of the plants that the sun was too direct for?
Not really. I would say what I found, I try to grow lavender, and lavender likes poor soils and likes drought conditions. Well, that didn't work too well down here. It rotted because, you know, we get rain, we get moisture in the air with the humidity, so they've not been too successful. But, you know, ferns, anything really, it's like a rainforest kind of temperament here.
Awesome. Well, let's take another look at some other places around here. So Joanne, it looks like you have a real green thumb with what we see here. Tell us a little bit about this little patch you've got going on.
Well, I think the green thumb is, it's called subtropical. Everything grows here. It's crazy. I have some elephant ears, and of course this is fern, banana palms. In front of us there we have ornamental ginger, which they make the leis out of, and Hawaii has most fragrant flowers in the late summer.
Well, something's blooming right over here.
That's a banana flower on a banana palm. The thing with the gardens here is everything grows and anything goes, so you're really spending a lot of time, which is what I need to do. As a gardener, you're always seeing the imperfections. Everything grows so fast here that you're spending most of your time clipping and pruning back. You're not trying to get it to grow because it will grow really well.
Boy, if you're a gardener, this is the place to be.
It is, yeah, and I did a master gardener's class when I came down here to know what you could grow in this in subtropical, and we have, you know, a pecan tree here which provides wonderful shade.
So finally, Joanne, you've got an amazing garden, you've got amazing talent, regardless of what you say about the subtropical. It takes some talent to have a garden like this. So what is it that really brings you joy about the gardening here?
Having been in Oregon where we had such a short growing season of maybe 3 months and we got lots of rain, here you get a storm come through and then you get the sunshine, you don't have to water your garden. I used to actually water way too much because I didn't take into account the fact that we have so much humidity that the plants actually get moisture in through the leaves as well as the roots. But I think what's really wonderful here is you can just about try and grow anything, and I would like to grow some avocados. I'd like to try and grow some mangoes. I understand that we can, but yeah, just everything grows. And with a garden, you know, it's called the gift of giving, because you can always take plants, take flowers to someone, come over to my garden and dig out an extra, you know, banana palm because I multiply them. You know, that's what I really love, is the joy of seeing multiplication. And then you're seeing the butterflies and the birds, and you know, I've got fig trees, blueberries, I've got an Asian pear over there. I mean, it's just wonderful.
Good, good. Well, we're glad you're here, and we're glad that you're growing such a beautiful garden and your businesses are doing so well. I'll be back to get my free plants.
Yeah, absolutely. They won't go anywhere.
Good, good. Well, thank you, Joanne. And thank
You're welcome.
you for joining us on WowNatchez for this episode about gardening. We hope you stay tuned and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe and hit our notification button and hit the bell. Whenever we have a posting, you'll be aware of it. Thank you. Thank you from Visit Natchez. We look forward to seeing you again.